Welcome to Shomach Shova and the Daf Shir sponsor Lui Nishmas Am Yaakov Shalom Le'avas Yitzchok. We're holding Avoda Zara Daf Chov Gimel. The Gemara in the end of Amud Beis brings a story that we have in Maseches Kiddushin, the story of Dama ben Nesina. And this comes as a response. They asked Rabbi Lazar, "Heichon kibud aveim? Until where do you have to do kibud aveim?" And Rabbi Lazar says, "Look at Dama ben Nesina, what he did for kibud aveim, not to wake up his father." Now, there's two questions of the story of Dama ben Nesina that we need to understand. Number one is, how can Rabbi Lazar bring a shavach of Dama ben Nesina? The Gemara just told us before, Lo yisechunim, you're not allowed to praise a guy. Here it seems that Rabbi Lazar is praising Dama ben Nesina for his kibud aveim. In addition, well done in Sefer Chasidim, and that's where Paskan La'alocha, that if the father wants the son to wake him up, the son should wake up his father. Over here, you would think that the father of Dama ben Nesina would like him to wake him up to sell the precious stone. So why didn't he wake him up? So both questions are answered based on the Maharal of the Maharal in Tiferes Yisrael. The Maharal there explains like this. He says, Dama ben Nesina, why is he called Dama ben Nesina? So Maharal says, very possible this was not his real name. Chazal called him Dama ben Nesina to say the point. And what is the point? Dama is Lashon Domim. And Nesina is Lashon Hiya Nersenes, which means Dama ben Nesina is doing the mitzvahs that make sense, that logically make sense. Dama means it's something that it's a din to be this way. Hiya Nersenes, it's logically something you need to do. Dama ben Nesina is willing to sacrifice himself to do a mitzvah that he understands. That's why he's doing kibud aveim. The same thing it says by Esav. Esav was a big mechabed father and mother. That was his big mila, because it's something that makes sense. It's a great thing for a person to agree to do things that he understands, but it doesn't mean that he's such a great person. He's not willing to do things that maybe he doesn't understand. It doesn't make logically sense to him. And this Mahalach of the Maharal connects beautifully with how the Achronim explain the Hemshech HaGemara. It's brought down both in the Hasidic Sfarim and the Litvish Sfarim. The Kotzker Rebbe says this ideal, and it's brought down in the name of the Ktsois that said it. What's shot that the schar, the reward for Dama ben Nesina, was that he had a para aduma born the next year. Why davka para aduma? So the same shot is Dama ben Nesina went ahead and he did kibud aveim, which means makes a lot of sense. He agreed to do things that make logical sense. Because Baruch wanted to show him that Am Yisrael is willing to sacrifice themselves for what? To do a mitzvah that makes no sense. Para Aduma is the classic mitzvah that's a chukah that makes no sense. So Dama ben Nesina is doing something which is logical. That's the limit where you can get to. And the kudo, the concept that Baruch wants to show is that Am Yisrael does much more because they're doing mitzvah, they're willing to sacrifice and to dedicate, to give all their money to do a mitzvah that makes no sense at all. And according to this, Rabbi Lazar is not meshabeach Dama ben Nesina. He's pointing out Dama ben Nesina is someone who logically he took the mitzvah to the extreme. That doesn't mean that it's big milo. He's doing only things that make sense. And that may be also the pshat, that maybe Dama ben Nesina really didn't do what he's supposed to do pi halacha. Maybe he went a little overboard. He really should have wake up his father because the father wanted to wake him up. But Rabbi Lazar wants to show, let me show you an example of someone who went to an extreme to do something that makes sense. Maybe we can learn from him for us to do, for all the mitzvahs, to go and dedicate ourselves to do the mitzvahs properly. Anyone who wants to join the Shomach Shova email list, so what's to go, please email shomachshova@gmail.com.